My name is Stephen Poletti, and joining me is Tom Russell. Tom, how do you expect this game to play out?
Having played both these teams earlier in the day, I'll favour ESU, but as we saw in the previous Macquarie vs USyd game, if Brandon and Jeff can get something going, then it can really kind of flip. Like we saw in the USyd game that Macquarie were pretty comfortable early on, and then USyd kind of brought it back as their beating, I think, got a bit more under control, and they brought on some of their more experienced chasers. But that could certainly, I wouldn't be surprised if it went that way. Though ESU are definitely the deeper, probably the better start as well.
Yeah, so the ref team for this game is the Nightmares. Your head ref is Harry Jones, a veteran head ref who won't take any crap from either team. And we have brooms up. It will be Jacob Sutherland going for it. Macquarie get the start off with the quaffle, and Shields has it and is advancing up the pitch very, very slowly.
Very slowly.
I love a good slow ball technique. It is heavily underused.
Yeah, ESU almost got penalised in that last game. Because the keeper was having a chat with their beater, and the ref was like, "Yeah, come on, it's your last warning."
Yeah,
I was happy about that because I was pretty dramatic. I was like, "Come on."
Yeah, I mean, there's slow ball and then there's just not doing anything, and that should be rightly penalised as Sutherland slaps it out of the air.
What Ryan needs to realise is that Jacob Sutherland, he bites at every fake or pass or shot you do. If you just fake him once, you can often really get past him. It's just a matter of recognising that and actually doing it.
Yeah, I guess. A long shot from Macquarie that goes out behind the hoops. Saw that in their first game against the Serpents.
And Jeff.
Sorry, not against the Serpents, against the Nightmares.
Yeah.
My apologies. As they just tried the long shots because I guess they just didn't want to go toe to toe with the Nightmares, and maybe it's the same technique here. They just recognise that they're up against a better team.
It's especially hard for Brandon because, like, in our game earlier, we were able to put two defenders on him a lot of the time, or at least 1.5 defenders. And I think at that point he's like he thinks his best option is probably to shoot. Though I think he needs to take more time. I think he can give himself a better option if he gives himself more time.
Yep, as some passing around here. Nice flick out of the back by Walker to Sutherland.
And then the pass. If he got that and then flicked it to the right, that would have been a goal.
Well, we have a stoppage here. Broom's down. Looks like it's going to be an injury sub.
I think something in the face.
Yeah, Sutherland was clutching at his nose for a second, so I'm guessing there was a bit of a high shot. I don't know if this is going to get picked up on.
I didn't really see it. Did you see that?
No penalty on the play.
Thank you. Just an injury sub. So it is Gia coming in for Sutherland.
ESU don't look too bad here, although the beater... there it is.
And tries to find a pass at the hoop. And...
Nah, it's not.
No. Possession is with the Macquarie keeper. Inside the keeper zone.
Yeah, ESU looked good there when the Macquarie beater came over to Cam. They were so scared. I thought maybe they had a good shot there. Cam gets wrong footed. Able to get back in the play though.
Frizzin makes the fast break, is unable to get the shot off. Good pressure there by ESU defense.
Probably behind him there, but I think it's fine. I think he just made a clean ball. I think I don't know. Harry might be.
Yeah, it looks like it's a warning coming from Harry.
It's often hard when you make a play on the ball like that, when you do that kind of chicken wing tackle on the ball. It's hard to see whether that's actually a play on the ball or whether you're getting them around the shoulder and the arm.
Yeah.
But it was fine.
It's one of those 50-50 calls. If we see Walker do that a little bit more throughout the game, he might get called on it eventually.
Now yes,
and there we go. And it's going to be a fast break here from Frizzin. There's no beaters back, and so Frizzin should just be able to dunk it, and he does. Macquarie with the opening points of this game, 10-0. Goal to Brandon Frizzin.
It's been slow going so far. What are we, 2-3 minutes in?
Yeah, about that. Without the stoppage, so...
Yeah, true.
ESU just talking tactics as they advance it up the pitch so they don't get warned for stalling.
Macquarie with control with the current beating lineup ESU has is dangerous for ESU. You'd like to get Kieran on here, but yeah, I'm not sure these guys are going to do too well at trying to get control of Jeff. And you see now, if they're able to get a beat here,
As clean in. Walker
bad
tries to
idea.
find Gia.
And now they've got fast break.
Yeah, not a bad idea. Poor execution.
Too slow.
Jackson Flynn is back on defense with a bludger.
It shows the difference in philosophy, I think, at that point. Like as a nightmare, we would have 100% fast break on that one bludger every time. But it's a fun question about whether you get to the point where you're being a bit silly.
Yeah.
Fast break
But I mean, the
versus-
Nightmares also have a lot of pace to be able to do that. You know, you've got Jackson, you've got yourself.
And when you got Harry, who can really control bludger. Here we go. That's a good look.
Oh,
Didn't have that second.
there's that chicken wing tackle again. Didn't quite connect, so there should be nothing there on the play.
Get it out on the right side, and then all right. Get it out on the right side. They do only have one beater. Remember Jacko came out so far there. I feel like that should have been a tradition.
Yeah, the two Flynn boys there, Cooper and Jackson. On the bludgers for... Oh, that's...
Gotta keep your hands up.
So no goal there for Macquarie. Still 10-0.
Yeah, it's lower scoring than I thought it was going to be, but the beater games are very interesting so far. It's been very conservative, with the exception of that one goal where Jeff was able to really blast out and get a couple of beats.
I think both teams are just going to feel very comfortable as we see Walker drive, and that'll be 10-all, and we'll have a brooms down here as the ball goes out of play, out of bounds. So it is 10-all now. Walker has his first of the game.
And it's just so hard to guard him when he gets the ball that close to the hoop. Like they don't have the size to be able to contest that shot. All you can hope to do is just get a body underneath him and stop catching him. But even then, you really just got to put a beater on him.
Yeah, I think both teams are perfectly content to play defense and hit on the counter.
Yeah.
Just because both beater lineups are incredibly good. I mean, you've got Talbot from Macquarie, who is a heavily experienced veteran. You've got Kelsey Collins and Kieran for ESU. As we're having some camera issues, that was a goal though.
Yeah, Brandon Frism.
As Frism scores his second.
It's the old cost of getting a goal is they lose all their bludgers to get it.
Yeah.
Doesn't end up giving them much of a benefit. And again, ESU are just stuck without control. They're really relying on Macquarie making some mistakes more than anything.
But as I was saying, Kieran coming onto the pitch now, who is with Cooper Flynn. I want to see Kieran and Kelsey on the pitch at some point, that old UTS combination that really seemed to work well.
Kelsey had a good game earlier today as well, so I'd like to see it.
As Walker tries a shot, misses, and that will be turned over to Macquarie.
Just a bit too impatient there. And to be fair, they're being challenged a lot in the beating, but there's just too impatient.
As Prison looks to make a fast break here, he does have Talbot in front of him to protect. Prison around the back, avoids the bait and can't seem to find the hoop. Eventually finds the hoop, and that is 30-10. We have a brooms down. They might be calling this beat before.
Are they
calling
it? Harry know about a beat of foul, well, not foul, on here on the left where Jeff threw off pitch when Kieran was off getting a bludger. But honestly, that seems to be, I don't think that was particularly harming the play, because I feel like it was...
it was far enough away from the play.
I don't think it necessarily benefited Macquarie that much, because Kieran picked up the... Oh, maybe did.
So they're calling a bludger turnover?
Because I'm thinking Kieran did end up a bit further away from the play than he would have been without that happening.
Yep.
So it's possible they do decide that.
Yep. So
goal is no good. Yeah.
So goal is no good. So we're back to 20-10. Prison does not have his third of this game. So we have had a bludger turnover as well. Talbot looking a little bit frustrated at the call there, but it's a fair call.
Yeah, it's so far it has been the tale of Jeff and Brandon are really dominating this game, but we'll see what happens next, because especially when one of them has to come off the pitch, we could definitely see a big shift. And as we saw in the last game, even when they came back on, UC continued to really push them, even when they were.
Well, I mean, eventually Talbot will have to come off just because Macquarie don't necessarily have a good seeker option, so he is kind of like the lead beater and seeker.
I think
and so
Cooper just did a really good job there, by the way, pushing Jeff behind the hoops. Just kind of didn't end up in a good offensive look for ASU. They do have control now, though. It's a good benefit. Kieran comes on, gets some control. Now's a little bit of danger time for Macquarie because they've got some inexperienced players. Here's the chance ESU want to come back, especially because they have control now. If they can just really pick up the pace, they could just lose control.
And Friesen is able to drive to the hoops.
They actually didn't lose
and he
control
now gets his
because
third
the Macquarie
goal.
beater didn't realise that they'd got control back. Didn't get the throw back. But they did get the goal.
Yeah, 30-10 to Macquarie. Macquarie I think they need to be. We have a brooms down. Is it a timeout call? Or is there something on the play that might negate the call?
He's calling it.
No. Walker has called it. So 7 minutes 48 in, timeout called by ESU.
You know the really amusing part of this? Before Cam called the timeout, he dropped his broom and his ball onto the ground and then called timeout. So really,
it should have been.
He should be dismounted when the game starts, but I don't think anyone cares.
No. We've seen in all the previous games, ESU have called their timeouts today. They're struggling a little bit at the start of games and then sort of coming back towards the end of games.
I really like the timeout usage. Not enough teams use them. I think a lot still forget that they have them. But yeah, it's always a tool in your toolbox that you want to pull out with it. And apparently, from what I've seen, ESU the only team to actually use one so far. I think Macquarie may have used it against us.
Yeah, definitely something that's underused as a technique, even if it's just to give your players a breather.
Yeah.
Is like I think too many teams
especially because it's a 20-point game.
in Quidditch believe in momentum and they don't want to break that momentum.
Yeah.
It's just good to reset and retalk tactics, especially in a low-scoring game like this. You just want to make sure that everyone's on the same page.
Especially because ESU have a few people who are trying to come in onto. So yeah, it's good to just get that little reset and just get everyone thinking the right way and moving in the right direction.
Now, speaking of ESU and Tilt, I have noticed that Jackson Flynn's actually not blown up today like he normally would, which is good. It shows an improvement of the player, and his I guess his temper is finally starting to match his skill set. I was told he had some problems last year at State Shield because he wasn't able to keep his temper under control in games. But if the maturity as a player manages to continue, he might find himself in line for a recall next year.
So ESU are in an awkward spot. I would really like to see them move the ball up to the side, especially when Cam's basically isolating against Brandon. Just doesn't feel like a good idea, especially because Kelsey and Kieran aren't pushing very high up with their bludgers. Like it just feels like they're relying a bit too much on Cam trying to make something happen, especially against a defender as good as Brandon. It doesn't seem like a very good idea.
We see Friesen make his first sub of the game, and so on comes Thomas Chapman for Macquarie as the keeper, and it is with Thomas now as he advances past the halfway.
Here's where I'd like to see ESU get really aggressive with their defense, really push up. Kind of get multiple people, and yeah, look, they're doing it a bit now.
Oh, beautiful tackle there by G is trying to force him out. Releases the tackle.
No, Cam's going to get this ball, but he's going to get beat.
No, he's not getting beat.
See, here's where it's partly an inexperience thing. When your ball carrier catches the ball at halfway, there should be a wing coming down to draw, because the bludgers are all going to be looking at Cam, right?
Yeah.
So if he had any help there, he could just take 3 steps forward, draw the beat up, make the distance.
I also think that might show a little bit of inexperience there from the Macquarie beater, and that is a drive by Walker to the hoops.
And you notice the moment Brandon's not guarding him, he can go straight through something.
Yeah. So to go back to the point I was just making, there might be a little bit of inexperience by the Macquarie beater. To use the HR in this game as an example, Harry Jones. Harry probably would have made the attempted beat there to just dislodge, to just get Walker dislodged of the quaffle. Even if it goes back immediately to ESU because the chaser picks it up, it still takes a player out of play for those few seconds.
And it slows the fast rate.
Those are things that come with time.
Yeah, this is a bit of danger time for Macquarie. Let's see if they can just weather the next 2-3 minutes. Oh, great spin move.
Spin and in. It is 40 points to 20.
And that's another one on Jacob for just being a little bit too aggressive. He tried to get the ball instead of just taking out the player, which would have negated the entire thing. She was pretty vulnerable. He could have just put her on the ground. Oh, great defense.
And Macquarie bringing the pressure on defense. Bludger control is with ESU, so they should be able to dictate play and drive towards the hoops, which is exactly what Walker does, and a beautiful dunk that goes in. It's 40 to 30. Both teams going tit for tat here on the scoreboard. Macquarie still with the 10-point advantage.
Yeah, you can see ESU just kind of got the momentum going back the other way a little bit. Macquarie just need to stay in there for another couple of minutes, and then they should be fine. The issue is when Jeff has to go see whether the game will shift. Macquarie would really, really like to see another couple of goals on by that. And again, it's just Jacob just being a little short. But he got lucky there that he can see a bit.
As Walker looks to hit the break, and does, he will get around the chaser off to Sutherland, who will dunk it. And we have a scores a level here, 40 all. I think Talbot looks like he's about to come back on, and I definitely wanted to say that, because if he was to come back on, he kind of needs to do it now, since he will be the starting seeker. And so you want him to have like a 2-minute. Oh, beautiful shot there by Talbot to hit Kelsey.
Red ball, close.
As we get a close up of Talbot, and what do we have here?
They might be calling.
Got a brooms
I thought
down.
they were testing the ball in the air. I couldn't see a foul there.
What are they calling? Are we calling pass after beat? Is that the call, or?
Oh, it's gone against CSU.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I'm not sure what Harry's saying. Some kind of contest in the air.
all I know is that we have a quaffle turnover, and so it will be with ESU. There does not appear to be a bludger back on defense here.
I'd love to see a screen on
For
for recklessness.
okay, yeah, so we have reckless endangerment, but he's not giving a yellow card because it seems to be very mild. Just quaffle turnover, which is fair. Harry Jones. Harry Jones using his veteran experience as a HR to use his judgment there, as Shields brings it forward now, tries to find SK in behind. SK does have the quaffle, but no, it is with Kelly Halevnak.
Yeah, you can't throw into double coverage.
And Sutherland will get it to Elphick now, as they did look to make the fast break until they realised that Talbot standing right in front of them with the bludger.
Yeah, Jacob's telling them to move the ball around a bit, and that is the correct move. You need to, especially when they have bludger control, you really need them to shift the ball. Jacob's probably
He's got Halevnak here on the right, Elphick, and he's going to use her.
It's partly the inexperience as well, is that Jacob's trying to move, gets a play movement, gets a ball movement, but all three ASU chasers end up in the same place. Needs to just be a bit more recognition there about spacing.
And we see a break here from Chapman.
Oh, great play, Jeff.
It is with SK, who tries to find Shields in behind, and does. Shields going for the long throw, and they're not going to catch Sutherland, who is going to score, and ESU take the lead for the first time in this game.
And you just see, even when Jeff comes on, once the momentum's on the ESU side, and I think once Jeff is getting a bit tired, it just starts to shift the other way. It certainly doesn't hurt that ESU have fresher legs. They've got some athletic beaters who can run a lot, at the very least make it work hard. Oh, here we go. Oh, no.
Okay, and Jackson Flynn will find himself beat, but I will.
Yeah, he'll go.
So Macquarie have bludger control here, I think. No, ESU have bludger control. My mistake. I didn't see the third bludger there with Kelsey behind Elphick. God damn, he's so tall.
That was well played by Kelsey as well. Flynn and Talbot were in a bit of a race, and Kelsey just came in. Now, It's just a question of whether ESU can turn this really good run of play in their favour to goals.
If Macquarie concede here, I would love to see them take
good,
their time
good.
out. So I would love to see them take their
Yeah,
time out
yeah.
just to slow the game down a little bit and hopefully break ESU's momentum. And they will concede here.
Great play.
60-40, 20-point lead to Macquarie. To ESU. I don't like the fact that they're still going. The couple of players are looking very exhausted here. I would love to see them call a timeout.
That was better movement from ESU, but really it was a defensive mistake from Macquarie. Like to let someone just cut straight through the middle of your defense through 4 chases and leave them covered. It's just...
Especially when you've got Elphick and Sutherland here who just have pace for days. So
yeah, and they're really the only two you need to cover. Not that the other players aren't good, but they don't use them very often.
no, it's very much a centre field driven offense.
Yeah. I'd really like to see this shifted to the left here.
You got Shields open completely on the left, who now goes in behind Hoops, as it will be at. Is it no Macquarie?
Get the ball.
It's still with Chapman. No, ESU now have the ball.
And they can just go now. They can just go.
We have a Brooms down for an injury sub for Kelsey Collins.
Got a bit lucky there as well because they've also a bit unlucky rather ESU because needing the stoppage has meant that Macquarie are now going to get that budget. Okay.
So
I think Harry made a call, and then I think Kieran challenged it, and Harry said, "Look, that was a crap show. I have no idea." He saw one foul, the rest of it wasn't fair.
and
He can just reset that. Just reset it.
do people forget that the reset rule exists? Like, have we
People are too afraid of using their reset that they forget they have one. Just make the pass. Yeah, good pass.
And that's a beautiful drive there by ESU. Beautiful tackle on the hoops there by Shields.
It's always really nice when you can wrap up the arm like that and use it as a pivot point.
Yep. As we see Brandon Frizen come back on for Macquarie. It's down the left here with Shields, who will lateral across the field to Frizen.
Still in range. Macquarie gets one more goal, and I think it's going to be definitely a different game.
Yep.
But they need to score.
They have a chance to do so here.
They got Ryan wide open.
They have control
no
here,
shooter.
and so you've got to take Jackson out. You can't take Jackson out, and
Yet
that will
another
be.
occurrence of someone throwing directly to Jacob Sutherland's hands.
And we have Elphick here, who's going to get around
Getting
all the.
run.
Oh,
Too
Frizen!
big, too strong.
Yep.
Good drive.
There's a fast break here, Oh, nice little palm off there by Frizen, who is going to get it off the Shields here down the left. Doesn't quite nail the pass, and
Another example of you should use a reset. Well, you got it. Instead
Yeah.
of giving the ball away. And they're going to go again. Matt Blissen says now they're cooking.
and we have a goal. It is 80-40. Macquarie have not scored since the timeout.
Not a good look from, not a necessarily good shot from Jacob, but he made it. I feel like he probably could have driven in.
As long as it goes in the hoops, that's.
Yeah. Scoreboard doesn't count good looks; it counts goals.
Exactly. Trust me, if the scoreboard counted good looks, the Golden Knights would have won the Stanley Cup.
This is going very similar to Macquarie's last game, where they just get overrun as the game goes on.
Yeah, the only difference is that Macquarie were able to stick it in the through the hoops early to create that buffer, which was then chased down. Alex Butler is your snitch here, as we have Kelly Halevnak and Talbot is not the starting seeker. Oh, I guess they realise they need him as a beater for this game. Oh, that's a friendly beat.
Nah, it hit the ground first, didn't it? Didn't matter.
Oh. Halevnak almost
Is this 40 points now?
catching it. Yes, it is 80-40. So, no, 90-40. That goal made it 90-40.
And yet, Macquarie aren't going for the game. Well, maybe they are, actually.
As Shields bring us down the left, is with Frizen. And both seekers will be beat here, so that'll give Alex Butler a reprieve. Oh, what a kick! What a kick that just didn't find the mark.
Yeah, Brandon's getting very frustrated. Seems like he's running down the pitch and it's like him and 1 or 2 chases doing anything, and then he kind of has to just throw the ball away. But yeah, he's getting frustrated, certainly not helping him.
Kieran taking out the Macquarie seeker here to give Helevnak a clean run at Alex Butler.
He's just a bit quick. She's just expending a lot of energy chasing him. It's going to be another goal if he does this right. And then shift it, and then shift it. Where's the other chasers? Oh, here they are.
As it is intercepted by Friesen. Unfortunately, ESU have control, and that will negate a fast break. Friesen definitely looked for it for about half a second and then realised the predicament he was in.
He can go now. He can go now. Kieran's not looking. Here he goes, here he goes. The problem is he's got to drive through 3 pretty long athletic guys, and he's just stuck. There's his pass. He's going to try and shovel the ball in. Not going to go.
And he ends up beat. Both keeper and chaser end up beat there. We've got a fast break here by Walker.
This is done.
And this is going to be easy. It is 100 points to 40.
ESU aren't coming back.
Yeah.
Macquarie rather.
Yeah. 6-goal lead now to ESU. So we have Brooms down.
I'm glad Macquarie aren't giving up, but it is over.
What the?
I hope it's not over, but it sounds like it is.
Missed what that was.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think you want to have a chat with Seeker about something.
Yeah, and you can see the immediate change in tactics by Macquarie off the Brooms down, the miniature Brooms down reset is they're just going to go for it here. Oh, we have something that happened off camera here, trying to work it out. Friesen looks frustrated.
Yeah.
High contact on Walker.
Yeah. So yeah, pretty clear foul.
Oh, double yellow card. Double yellow card.
This is, by the way, well-established beef between these two.
Yeah, double yellow card here. Incidental high contact calls.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't see what Cam did, but I'm not doubting there was bad contact. Like, I'm sure Brandon's probably doing it. Obviously, it's no excuse.
High contact offense, high contact defense.
Yeah. The problem for Cam there though is like
it looks like
Brandon's burrowing like that. It's really hard to.
It looks like, given that the quaffle is with Macquarie, that Walker made first contact there. So, as we see the change in tactics here, off screen to the right by the Macquarie seeker, just wants to try and end the game quickly. Back on screen now is the seeker.
Just called it. Harry looks to have overruled.
Yep, it didn't look like it went in from my angle either.
Oh no. There's another fast break if they want it. But I don't think they're going to take it.
I think at this point they're just happy to conserve energy and they're not going to get run down here. Macquarie don't look like scoring. And the only way that will make this look like a closer game than it actually is a snitch catch.
That's because Macquarie pulled their beaters on their quaffle. There's just no point to throw the ball away.
Oh! And finally beat there at the hoops, ESU. As a new keeper comes in for Macquarie. I'm not too familiar with who this is. I don't think I've seen her play keeper yet today. As it attempts to make the break with no bludgers.
Didn't try and beat
it's Claire Corbett at keeper. Finds the offload to on the left. Attempts the shot. Can't quite get it. Still recovered by Macquarie as we have a scramble here around the hoops. It's still with Macquarie. Corbett.
Look at this.
And beautiful there by Sutherland. No, Elphick, sorry. As we have some seeker play happening right in front of us. Comes off pitch.
Come on, Alex. Stay on the pitch.
You can't do that.
Do you have any idea of the time? How close are we to him?
I would assume that we're sitting at about 21 minutes, so handicap should be coming soon. Unfortunately, I don't have a clock, and Helevnak looked hurt here.
Yeah.
And,
I think she's exhausted more than anything. She's been working very hard.
She hasn't come off yet since she come on as seeker.
No, she hasn't. She's done very well, but she's clearly degraded over the time.
Yeah.
She's just left it the last second. Really great effort from her.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's no point ruining yourself when you're up by 60.
Yeah.
Bring over. Somebody finish here. Bring over a water bottle.
Yeah, calling for a water bottle, so it's definitely just it's cramp and exhaustion.
Sorry, we're on. Go on, Dane.
Run, Forrest, run!
It's all right. The water boy's coming to help us.
As it comes through, Chapman now on the left here, playing keeper. Both players are back out of the box now for
Oh, great try.
Macquarie as Talbot gets a beautiful beat. Fast break here down the left for Big
Yeah, a bit
Elphick,
too
who's going to
slow.
find Walker. Oh no,
Jeff's made it back though anyway. A bit too slow on the fast break.
had Walker open on the right
great
hoop.
tackle, Brandon.
As it's covered here by Sutherland, scramble in front of the hoop. Sutherland looks to dump it in
Oh.
behind. No goal, but now we have a goal.
Brandon's trying so hard here, but yeah, I think he's throwing the towel now. You were very close on about 5 different times. We were watching, being like, oh, it's very impressive. See.
An excellent performance. As we see a battle here. Oh, caught by Macquarie. If this is a clean catch, and it looks like it was, I didn't
When you do
see
those
anything in
spin
front of me.
moves- When you do those spin moves, you're going to get caught at some point. It's a risky move. Initially, I thought the SU Sinker was going to get it, but Macquarie guys just got.
I mean, there isn't much you can do when you're caught in between two players apart
Yeah.
from spin it out. Especially as you're nearing towards
It's over,
handicaps. That's really your only defense once you hit handicaps. Unless you're Damo, of
It's
course.
definitely a clean catch from what I can see.
Yep, clean catch to Macquarie. So the final score here will be 110-70. Snitch catch making the score look a lot closer than it actually was. What are your overall thoughts on the game, Tom?
Macquarie just ran out of legs. I think they got frustrated when they got out of range and just couldn't get back. Their offense degraded as the game went on. Not so much in the quality of the chances they were getting, although those did go down, but they were just giving up way too many fast breaks. They started getting desperate. And then once you're giving up fast breaks like that, the game's over. Once you're too tired to run back on defense to stop a fast break, it's yeah, see a good performance though. Really good.
Yeah.
They're showing some good resilience.
Yes, they are. Especially given their earlier results, that they're the one thing I would have liked to have seen Macquarie do is I would have liked to have seen them use their timeout, which they didn't, just to
Yeah,
slow
I agree.
momentum down.
Especially because they look so tired.
Yeah.
Although you can't do it snitch on pitch, but certainly, yeah, they had some time to do it.
No, but before that, there definitely should have been a couple of minutes before, where there would have been a chance to take a timeout. The only chance Macquarie would have had to take it would have been the injury sub to Halevnak post-snitch, because you can call timeout out of stoppage.
Yes, you can.
But they didn't. I think at that point they just wanted to get the game over. So your final score for this game is 110 ESU, 70 Macquarie. For Tom Russell, I am Stephen Poletti. Thank you for joining in.